Hey, what's up YouTube? So today we are going to work on this project, which is taking a website that had Elementor downloaded to it, and we're going from Elementor to Elementor Pro and show you some of the things which are pretty significant. You can make a pretty good website with just Elementor and a good template, but really you can make a really good website with Elementor. It's just a lot more creativity. You can make a lot more changes to fonts and colors significantly easier. And from the templates that I use, like the header and the footer, there's just a lot more that you can do a lot easier without having to like half code some stuff and half do other things. So you can see here that the footer is very basic. These links to the social media, like, they're not even very clear, so like to get in there and try to make that straight, like, that could be pretty time consuming for a pretty significant element of your website here. So we're going to change the footer and the header. I've already done some things to this particular website, but it's kind of clunky, not really flowing well. Some of these images are not the right size. And then down here in this section, which was just what I was limited with the regular Elementor, it's not even. So like when you go, it might be alright on mobile, but like when you go to desktop, it's not lined up. So even though most people use mobile these days, you still want to have your desktop version cool, because it is a bigger screen. Images are a lot clearer, and it is a lot more fun on the desktop for the people that do go. And if you have a serious business clients, they're probably going to share it with people, and they're going to be in their office and stuff. So not everybody's looking on their phone. Like there are definitely a lot of people that view from desktop, and those are usually more potential clients at that point. If they've taken the time to look at you on their desktop, that means they're sitting down in their office and doing a serious review of your company and your business. So this is a good high school friend of mine, Jess Parrish, and he is, as advertised, world championship. His team won the world championships in 2014 for, obviously an incredible masterpiece of ice and chainsaw and chisels and all that stuff. So I'm adding WooCommerce to this too, so who knows how far this video is going to go, but it's definitely going to be the header and some of the basic advantages of Elementor Pro. But we are going to do WooCommerce because I did make some apparel for him, and I was using that apparel with Printful and Shopify, but Shopify doesn't allow really for separate stores, and you would have to pay $39.99 or $29.99 for each store that you do. So that could get really pricey, especially if your store is not like a huge revenue generator. You're probably losing, you could be losing money, especially for the first 3, 6, 12 months in all reality, unless you got some serious weight as an influencer or already have a store in real life and you're just moving it to online or some other reason. But otherwise, that $39 a month is going to add up. So maybe I didn't catch on to this Printful earlier and how to integrate it with WooCommerce, because I did try to integrate it with WooCommerce, but it wasn't, I don't remember it working very well, and I don't remember like payments being able to be set up through PayPal. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like I would have done it if it would have been there earlier. So this way I can have one account, and I can do one account in Printful, and I can have multiple stores going to multiple websites and not costing multiple $29 a month. So Joanna Parrish reached out to me and said she wanted to buy some sweatshirts that I made for them, some hoodies, and the store isn't up anymore, so I'm gonna have to this was what I was kind of doing already, so I'm just going to jump to their website and set up a store on their website directly to the products that I made just for Cool Hand Ice. So I didn't take these pictures or these videos, but I definitely did edit them in Photoshop. These are all cell phone pictures, old cell phone pictures, so they were not very high quality. Maybe a couple of them were point and shoot, and maybe they got a few from somebody at the event. But in general, I mean, it's pretty incredible what Photoshop can do, especially if you're just keeping the images pretty small and digital. Like you can, a lot of the graininess and lack of detail, you can barely even tell. So having a web developer, or if you make websites and you have at all any photography and Photoshop skills, like, it's a huge advantage. It's a huge advantage for your customer or for yourself, but in the end, your customer. So here we go. So you cannot do and I got my screen video here right in the way of all the keys I'm about to use, but down here in the right corner, I hope that's the columns. Wham. Okay, so you don't have theme builder, and you do have site settings, which is your colors, and this isn't a good website for it to be a good example for this, but when I go in here, for most websites or most customers, I have like a branding card, which is great. But then I name all my colors right here instead of primary, secondary, and text, like, and I'll even make up a name, if it's like Cool Hand Ice Green or something like that, like make up a color, because not all of these color codes have actual real names. So you can go in there and color code everything, and like these are all the standard colors actually for this. It's been a while since I've worked on this website, and I don't host this website, so it's not secure, but it works better for the customer in this situation. It's easier for him to pay for and stuff, but probably should get him switched over to my hosting because it has a lot better features. But so you can set up global colors. That's all available on the normal. See, and then like when I pick these are all, that's just the standard Roboto, which is a decent font. But I would go in here and change it to whatever it is I decided or whatever we decided or I decided, and name it right here, so you always know it, and you don't have to. I don't know, it just makes coming back and editing the websites a lot easier, and especially if you have a lot of websites that you're trying to edit, and you come in here, you like to have it all done, like a good foundation for it. And all these other features, this is all pretty incredible. That's better than, the buttons. I guess you do have some of this stuff. If you have a good template, will allow you to, if you have a pro template that has all this stuff unlocked, quite a bit of these features will be in just your pro template, but there are significantly more even in just regular Elementor. And as far as WordPress's page editing and like the classic mode and blocks and all that crap, like Elementor is way more fun to use, way easier to use, in my opinion. So just the basic Elementor software is great, but still I still use the pro templates, because there are some features when you get into where you got to do some slight coding, I guess, or kind of finagle some things. Like, it still is beneficial to have a pro template. So this particular website has about like a $75 template on it, and also Elementor, which if you get the $199 for a year, you get unlimited websites. So to the customer, if the customer was going to do it just for themselves, just for this website, you already got $75 plus $199. One's unlimited, one's yearly. So I mean, like, you're already giving them, make sure you're making them aware of the value that you're providing them. You don't have to tell them that that the $199 is for all of your websites. You know what I mean? But if they were to buy it, to them, it is $199 per year. You know what I mean? if if they were trying to do it themselves. Like, so you got to differentiate the value of you doing it for them and them doing it themselves, and obviously the time, and that's the number one thing. But okay, so when you get to the Pro, you might hear my dogs going crazy here. You get Theme Builder, and Theme Builder is awesome, and this helps you with making WooCommerce look a lot better, which WooCommerce, just the standard with the standard template, is pretty lame, and it looks like everybody else's. So you know, your store just looks like everybody else's, and consumers just, like, they know without knowing that this is just a basic site. You know what I mean? Like, this is just something somebody threw together. So having these extra templates and being able to make your store look unique and not look cookie cutter, that's already allowing you to maybe, you know, every little bit more in profit margin on whatever it is that you're selling, you know. But anyway, here's the header. Okay, so I'm going to show you there's a lot of things that we can show you here that this really benefits. Okay, so you can do boxed or full width. I'm not 100% sure if you couldn't do that in the original Elementor, just something that simple, and you would have to go into your template and make sure that your template allowed for Elementor to do that. But with Elementor Pro, you can just override everything. Like, you can do everything with Elementor Pro, and it just overrides your entire website in just about every aspect, except for a couple things, like I said, and that's why you need a Pro template, or you benefit from having a Pro template as well. So all of these features down here, here's a basic, here's what you get with basic, which is pretty basic, but still way better than probably what your Pro template. And you don't have to go in and get so many different plugins from different makers and hope that those plugins get updated and hope they stay current with whatever WordPress updates. You got to hope that your plugin updates and that team with that plugin updates. So if you can just get if you can get more of it just with Elementor Pro, then you don't have to worry about all that crap. Penny, shut up. Shh. You can't be barking up here. Don't be barking up here. Okay. And so Elementor Pro, you have one plugin that's always current. They always update. Great customer service. Tons of online help. Tons of videos. Everything that you need. So look at all these pro features. Tons of pro features. Like a ton. Like it unlocks a ton. And then plus down here, you can't really see behind the little screen that has my photo. You got WordPress. So you can element the more basic plugins and widgets, and you can bring them into Elementor. So like, this is pretty much the best software that I've seen paid. And it's really not that much, especially if you have more than one website. If you just simply have more than one website, then the $199 a year will pay off these stupid dogs. Stupid dogs. Okay. So we're just gonna get the logo on there, and I like there's a particular menu that I like that is better. Man, this is gonna be hard not to sit here and point out all the differences and all the advantages here. But so when you download these pro templates, you get all the photos and all the elements of templates that Elementor provides. So this is all rights free. Like, this is all commercial rights free photography, and it's pretty good. So like, you may not make these exact products, but man, like, it's a lot better than what I see a lot of other websites that just have basic rights free photos that they got downloaded from like Pixabay or something like that. So I mean, this picture with the wine glasses, like, that's an incredible picture. Like, that's a beautiful picture. Some of these pictures are awesome. Like, if that's any kind of, like, if you do like any kind of home cleaning, or this looks like I downloaded a few from food, you know what, food services. Like, those are incredible pictures, and you may not have that exact food. That might be an issue for you, but Some of these portraits of people, like those are really nice portraits, you know, and they're not pictures that I haven't seen a lot of Elementor pictures on websites. I see, you know, you'll start to see different, like Pixabay, you can see photos that you just know from experience, kind of, you've seen them around, that they're reused photos. But a lot of these are really good and you get access to them. You could even download them and use them elsewhere, or make your marketing material out of them as well to match your website. So if you wanted to do some marketing material that matches your website and keep an overall theme going, then that's pretty great for you. So I think this is the basic and see the I might have to go in and make sure that the background stays white now that I updated and made it header. And just like, man, always make sure that you're labeling things and making sure that every time you do something, do it thoroughly and consistently throughout, so that you don't have to go back and do these little things, because it does take significant time. And like I said, if you do on other videos, if you do like if I'm editing 40 real estate photos and I take a minute longer per photo, that's an extra 40 minutes. That's damn near an hour, you know what I mean? And so each little, you know, like me talking right now, trying to do all this is definitely slowing me down. But just remember that you lay the foundation so you don't have to go back and fix things. And the you of the future, I tell my son all the time, the you of the future will either thank or hate the you of the past, because he gets mad at me and I'm like, dude, don't be mad at me. You need to be mad at Jet of the past, because Jet of the past didn't do what he could have done to make Jet of the future's job significantly easier. So like, I don't like this thing I've been doing lately on some websites is I don't like these words for the menu, so I just make it a hamburger even on the desktop, where most people have it convert to hamburger when it's in tablet or phone. But I like it on desktop too, actually. So no. See, mobile drop down. I definitely like that center. I know that ahead of time. Where the heck? There it is. Drop down. So hamburger is just the term of the 3 lines. Where are my colors here? I'm feeling kind of stupid here right now. Okay. Text color. I don't know. I don't remember it being like that, but anyway. So then when you drop it down, oh, there it is, like that. See, so just a significantly more. See, so significantly more creativity, or simply more features to really make your even just your menu stand out significantly more. Border type, solid. Like, these are just for little lines. Dang it, my little... See, I like that. And I like it, no, not that one. I like the spacing to be more padding. Vertical. And then, so this is a little trick. Okay, like an advanced feature of this is to make it stick at the top. Positioning. Fixed. Center, blah, 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 right. I think it gets in here, and you might want to, you might have to mess with the padding once. No. Crap. There we go. There we go. See, so when it scrolls, now you need to do like a, if this, that can work, but this is going to be transparent. Everything around the button is going to be transparent. So what the hell? I am going to have to go back here, change this back so I can move it into this real quick, get it into a separate column, and make this whole. See, you got to get like your different levels, right? Like you have the full section, and then you have the column, and then you have the widget. So I would be consistent. Make sure that you're consistent every time. So when you go back, like if you make all of your padding adjustments in the section, you know, then you always know that that's where you can go to find them. Otherwise, you're gonna have to go to the section. Then you're like, oh, I made them in the column, and then oh, I made them into the widget. So if you can make the adjustment in section, always make an adjustment in section. If you have to go to column, then go to column. And if the column doesn't work, then go to the image. But like, don't go to the image first sometimes, and then go to the column first sometimes, and then go to the section first sometimes, because then you're gonna have to go through all three of them to make sure to find out where you made the adjustment. So that's just another one of the fundamental things in like workflow that help you be faster. Is just make the same changes in the same ways all the time. And you'll learn that over time, but hopefully I can tell you some things that you don't have to learn over time, and it'll save you some time right away. Give you some things to think about at least. So responsiveness, motion effects, sticky at the top. See, that's right. I was trying to do it in the actual widget, and you want to do it in this section for this to work properly. So then, see, this is all transparent. So as the website scrolls up, you're going to be able to see just the hamburger, and you're going to be able to see all of the website around it, which is cool, I think. I like that. But like, you're going to get to where the colors are similar, and you're not going to be able to see the hamburger as well. So I just go ahead and make the background solid, and then it stays at the top of the website. And I just think more times than not it works better that way. So I don't mind that it's not quite as cool, but it's still cool. Okay, and down here is the button for to view it on desktop, tablet, and mobile. So these are all like very important. So I like that. I like it to be, because remember, people are using their fingers, and it could be old people, and old people need to see stuff. And if like you've ever looked at any old person, I'm talking like anybody older than 40, and their eyesight's going, like they have very big buttons, and the font is gigantic. So help them out with just having a lot of space for them to push buttons with their fingers, and just like, they tap and they work like this, but help them out, okay? Sorry to anybody that's older than me out there listening to this. Okay, so that's kind of okay, but let's change that a little bit. They're like on the hover, which is cool, and it's blue. I like to go opposite. I just go opposite. And then for the active, really only matters on the desktop, because I don't even think it shows up on, so I just keep it the same as when they scroll over it. So it's just like active is if you push it and you're on that page and you go to the menu, you're always going to be able to see which page you're on inside the menu. Pretty basic stuff, but I don't know how in depth some of my watchers are. Okay. So we're just gonna make this white just in case the website, I might have to go in to change the background color to white, which I like that to be full too. That way, so the drop down is the full width. Okay, I don't need this. I don't really ever use this navigator over here very often, but sometimes when you get things overlapping, and I very rarely do like the index, change the index so stuff is overlapping the other, because it makes it really hard to edit in the first place, and it's not always that, the hassle isn't worth how cool it is. But if you made like a really cool website, I don't even know, I think it's more just like kind of websites of the olden days when people were actually coding them, that index was more significant of a tool to understand and use. I don't really think it, I barely ever use it, just for the menu. I'm already talking about it too much. I barely ever use it, and I don't even use that navigator unless something's overlapping. Sometimes with words, you try to get words closer, but if you got Elementor Pro, you don't have to do those things. With regular Elementor, yes, you gotta finagle things, you gotta mess with getting things to overlap, because you can't mess with the margins of the column and stuff like that. So Elementor Pro is just, it's awesome. And then if you ever wanted to teach, if somebody ever wanted to learn how to edit their own site, you know what I mean? Like, this is very easy and fun that anybody with any kind of experience, you could get you can get somebody to do it very easily, in my opinion. Might take some time, but very easily. Okay, so that should be my new deal. And then I always constantly check things on my phone to make sure it looks halfway decent on my phone. I got an iPhone 11 at this point in time. And you do have to somewhat think about people with smaller phones. But look, man, I don't think of people with smaller phones. Like, I assume all of my customers are well-to-do and they enjoy new technology and they're updated. So I like it aligned better on my mobile, because my screen's about wider, like iPhone 11 is probably about like that. So having it off to the left, I could tell it was visibly. And I definitely have to go in and change the background color of my website. So when you go to full page, when you let Elementor just take over your pages and take over your entire format of your website, then you do have to go into, as far as I've seen, if there's another way to do it, I've tried and tried and tried. Let me see. I think you got to make like a template for your entire website and make the color black or color white, or you can just do it this way, I guess. Background color, because it's just white. Bam. And that is customizing. Aya. Oh, What the heck is the template design? Designs. But I bought like a package a while back before I found Elementor, and I'm glad I still did, because it is still beneficial to have this, because I've tried it a couple times without having to upload the theme, one of my purchase themes, my package themes, which is a lifetime purchase. So I got like 75. I think I got 75 for $75, which is pretty cool. Back then. Sorry, I'm breathing on the microphone too. I'm trying not to breathe on the microphone, but see, I mean, look at this. Is in general, I mean, unless you then you got to go in and find all kinds of other widgets and plugins, and it's just like Elementor Pro is so worth the money. But I digress. I'm not making any money off selling them. Maybe I should have an affiliate link on here for what I'm doing here. This should go white, and this should go white. This should go white. And change the header. See, so I like that. Maybe need to make that bigger. And I need to fill this blank space with something. But nothing is really coming to me at the moment, so maybe we'll just move on to the footer. And pretty sure there was a size. I thought there was a size for the drop down. Crap, I could have swore that there was a size. Well, that's better. Definitely needed to do that. Vertical padding. Dang it, I know that there was a... There it is. The border radius is just how round it is. Let's see what that looks like. I think with until I fill this blank space in right here, I don't know why I like that. But I do. But do I really? I don't like it. So we're going to change it. We're going to change it. Vertical. No. Definitely going to go horizontal, centered. Text color. I don't like the hover color. I do like that better. Well, maybe I do like that better. On this particular. Oh man, that's frustrating. The screen for my video is in the way. reset it. So have a couple different, I try to have a different, see how that loading time, and remember the 1 minute that I told you about on 40 different things? You're going to be going back and forth. So I open up just about every tab of this website, every page of the website, have it in a tab, have it in order. So like if home's right here, have home, have about right there, and have them in order so that you know what order they are, so you're not clicking back and forth once these tabs get too small for you to be able to see what the subject of the tab is. You know what I mean? And that just helps you clicking like that. Look how much time that's saving compared to waiting for it to load, even if you're fast. And if you're constantly closing it and opening it, that just takes extra time. And if you used to code websites or whatever, like you always had to go back and forth to see what your adjustment did, like you were constantly refreshing and going back and forth. Well, like that same kind of idea and that same sort of way of doing it still works and still helps. So I don't know, I'll come up with something more creative for that part right there. But see, right now the website doesn't even have a footer, so we don't need that anymore. So I am going to black that one out. Put Elementor theme builder. So this is something that's good to know. Like it depends on how these features right here are in like the dashboard. So you can either work from an open page and then keep that page. Like look, it should go back. Pretty sure it does. I can't remember if maybe that's, man, I thought it went back to this page. Maybe I opened this up in header but if you were editing like your home page and then you decided you wanted to make a change to the header, you could do that while you're working in that page. You wouldn't have to back out of that page or go to your dashboard to go to these themes, go to the theme builder, like that's in the page that you're working on, so you don't have to go back and forth. And that's pretty awesome. There's all kinds of little things like that like save a ton of time. It's really well thought out. It works really well. So here you can see like it's a little bit different than if you do it in the actual page. Sorry, I'm trying not to breathe on the microphone as much. Footer. So all this stuff uploads pretty quick. See, so here's I use a lot of my own photography and my own Photoshop little creations and stuff to put into stuff. But like if you don't have any ideas, or if there's one of these pro templates that they provide for you that works for you already, or if you just need like some design ideas or whatever, you get like kind of hit like a roadblock or something like that. I get a lot of ideas from using these. I don't usually use them, but once you insert it, like it downloads all the features. If there's any images or anything like that, it goes straight to your media, and you have them usable as files right there. So you could download all of these for this website and get all the materials for them, if you wanted to. I just don't. And then like another awesome thing, these little JSON, that's what I call them, JSON files. You can save each page, and then you can save them offline too as well, and basically back up. It's kind of a way you can back up an easier way you can back up your website. I don't know, for me, but then you can reuse them. So you can reuse the same fonts, you can reuse all the same stuff that you've already created on one template. Like you can have it match throughout your website significantly easier, because you just go in and you use the template that you've saved and you just change everything. But like especially if you have a lot of elements, like if you have a lot of borders, you have a lot of box fades, if you have a lot of padding and margin changes, so like it'll keep it consistent throughout the website, so one page isn't different than the other. And that's Elementor Pro that lets you do that stuff. So going back and revamping some of these regular Elementor websites, it's just like it's crazy how much manipulation you had to do to get Elementor to look even somewhat half as good as what Elementor Pro can make it look a million times faster. So yeah, then you can go over here and you can export it and save it, and make sure you label everything. So this is also an incredible way. So this is just a lot more talking in this video than I thought it was going to be, but like this, if you're a web builder or you're starting to be a web builder, like if you wanted to make the same template for a lot of your clients, you could make website building really easy, and you can make a template for like a ton of restaurant businesses. And you just go in there and just change the name and change the information, and then you could show them this template and be like, look, this is the template that you're going to use this is the one I use for restaurants. And like especially if they're in different cities, you know what I mean? Like I look at they're not going to know that it's the same template. They're not going to care, and they're probably not even going to care. They just care that it looks good, and that is the way that all these big companies are doing it. And I look on university websites, because I work with a lot of college universities and stuff, and I'm looking at their websites to see who's on the roster and stuff like that. And it's like CBS or NBC or some news media. That's all they do. They all have the exact same website. Well, how freaking easy is that? And I'm sure they charge them all the same as if they had like done these one off, So they all got the same look. They all got the same features, and that's super easy for you to make it. And that's how you make it faster and faster and faster. And then that's how your profit margins get higher and higher and higher. So, sorry. So taking advantage of these is huge. You could do, that's how you could have just a ton of themes that you created that are all original, and you just duplicate them. But you're duplicating your templates and not Elementor's templates. You know what I mean? Then it's real original. Full width. I like most of the stuff full width. Sometimes when you do full width on mobile, sometimes I like to have a little bit of padding on the sides of the mobile, but that's all total preference. Probably the logo again. He's got several different logos, so I'll probably do all 3 logos. These are logos that I made in Photoshop. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of stuff that I've made for him. I got a PNG version just in case you need to see through it, but I'm going to use the JPEGs here. Okay. If you're going to do multiple images the same size, like these are all squares, before you go, let's see what the border looks like on this. Oh, that's not bad. Copy that because I want the box color. Oh, here we go. Alright, that's alright. That's alright. I'm trying to get there. We go. Okay. Okay, so now instead of doing that to each individual one, just duplicate it. Okay. Like delete that, and I want to duplicate the column because I want them to all be next to each other. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Now, see, that's, it'll just go like that, but then it changes back. Oh, and it's not the same size. Interesting. Interesting. It's not, I thought they were all square format. See, and you can get your 5 folders. You can organize stuff better than that. Better than what I got it. Like there are some plugins that work for organizing your pictures, your media, which would be over here, and there'd be like a file folders over here. It makes it a lot easier to jump to stuff, especially when you get to the point where you're making a lot of, you're adding a lot of images, image heavy. Website. See, there we go. Okay, children, okay. Now, I'm gonna use something. I'm gonna start doing something else on my websites here that I just kind of started wanting to do today after I watched something on YouTube about privacy and copywriting. So, where would it be? So I'm gonna steal the writing off it real quick. But so just to protect yourself, and like I do use contracts and receipts for some projects, but probably need to I'm about to make a jump from just being like a sole proprietor to starting an LLC. So in order to differentiate yourself from the LLC, and like the guy uses the term piercing the corporate veil. So like you have an LLC to keep everything separate from your personal. So like if for some reason you ever get sued for anything, they can't take your personal stuff, and they can only sue the LLC. But if you don't do a good job of differentiating the LLC, I don't know why this is taking so freaking long. Good grief. If you don't differentiate the LLC from you in legal ways consistently throughout the lifetime of the LLC, then it makes it easier to pierce the corporate veil. And I don't know what that would mean for me, and how somebody would sue me, or what for. I do have a drone, so maybe if I crash my drone into somebody's house or into somebody's car, I guess technically they could sue me or something like that. Or if my business vehicle crashed into somebody and they sued beyond what my insurance or something. I have no idea, but so this guy recommends putting it. I haven't used Photoshop. I've been gone for 3 days, and I just came back and turned this on, so that's probably why it's going so slow. But so you want to make sure that when you just like terms of service and stuff like that, and like what information you're taking, you always want to have all your bases covered, and that's not necessarily something that I do. But I'm really looking for this little rights here, and I saw this in a book, and I thought it was well written. So, oh my gosh, it's taking forever. Good grief. So we'll save it. We'll move on here. Entire site, so we can at least see what that looks like. See, so not having the not secure for him on this website, there's not any transactions taking place, so it's not a huge deal. So here's the footer that we got now, but look, there's not much separation between the website and the footer, so I like to have like a a real sign that this is the bottom of the website, you know what I mean? So we're going to put down here like copyright and some BS information, and then maybe even change it to a different color, maybe like blue or gray, so that you know it's the footer. I don't know, just so you know, like it's the completion of the scrolling. Sorry. Good grief. Okay. So look, man, I mean, this is just the huge benefits of being, well, having Photoshop not working slow as hell. Man, just as a web developer, if you're looking for a web developer, man, having somebody that has Photoshop skills cannot express enough how much of an advantage it is. Because if you have to find somebody, I mean, seriously, if you have to find somebody to outsource all these projects like this, that makes this process just ridiculously slow. If you have to outsource all this stuff, or maybe somebody sent, like if somebody does Photoshop or Illustrator or whatever, and they send your web developer a file and they're not familiar with the file or how to use it or blah 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 blah, man, like if you're a photographer out there, like I think you have a significant advantage if you want to start learning websites. Like just keep that in mind. That's all you need right there. Probably thin it out a little bit. Okay, so then there, it's on there. It's on there. And you can change the by cool hand ice, and that puts it alright, super. Alright, it's reserved by cool hand ice. You know what, I'm gonna make this a separate, stack it here. Okay, and then you can go into this column and look, it's already got a spacing of the widgets of 20, so that saves you a ton of time by you can like actually adjust like the width. Before, I was having to go in and like put the space code in there, and like, oh my gosh, it's just a disaster. Just save yourself the time. Do yourself a favor and just get Elementor Pro. Save yourself from yourself. And just do it. Have some confidence and just do it. Believe in yourself. Pay the extra. Make it happen. Do more, quicker. Make it back. Okay? Don't play from behind. You know what I mean? Like, if you believe in yourself and you believe what you're doing, don't set yourself at a disadvantage right away. I can't say that I take that in business very well. You know, I've been very well even at that for myself in business, but snowboarding. I used to snowboard, and sports. Just always give yourself the best equipment that you can get, and you're investing in yourself. Like, it's a no-brainer for me in that sense. Like, it is and always has been a no-brainer for me. Like, always get yourself the best stuff. And people that play sports and stuff, people that do sports, get together, man. You gotta start making sense. You gotta make what you already know with stuff that you're already good at, and things that you're already good at, and make them relative to business. Because everybody in business, man, if you're not watching, like, everybody in business loves, like, the athlete mentality in all kinds of different ways, you know what I mean? And they're trying to get their staff to think more like athletes and bring in athletes to be inspirational speakers and stuff. Well, if you're an athlete already, I mean, there's nothing new. It's nothing new. So just make it relate. Like, your problem, my problem at least, is that just making it, not knowing that you have this great sense of business already. You already have it. And people in business are seeking out what you already have. Okay? Okay, I think I might like that better than making the background a different color, because I like the baby blue and I don't know what the baby blue is going to do with gray as a background. So let's go over here, just some random page. We got the new header. We got the new menu, which isn't that fancy, but I do like that stick feature right there. It scrolls down, because otherwise people are doing, like, I see a lot of people that you have a site menu over here, and you can do that, and I do have that on a couple websites where, like, you can just click and it'll take you down to an anchor spot, a spot that's anchored. You can say, like, consulting and management, and it'll slide down directly to that spot, blah blah blah. So, like, I made some adjustments to this page. It didn't save or something. I don't know what I did wrong, but okay, what are we looking at here? Monday through Friday. That's the, I am going to put a spacer on the top of that as well, and like some links down here maybe to my website. So I'm going to make this, I want that space on top too. Cool hand ice. All rights reserved. My stomach is growling. Duplicate. I'm going to send this to the contact page instead of just refreshing. Instead of just, like, refreshing the same page, have it go somewhere. Make it a little bit bigger. Delete that. What else could I put under there? Let's try this. Just to kind of space it out. Cool hand ice. You can have a little tagline there. Let's have something, let's say, like a yeah. Well, you know what we could do? Look, this is a little bit of the power. This is the power of Elementor Pro. Sometimes you just gotta kind of figure out what you want. And then I can have this linked to something else now. Which I'm gonna do. That's my website. Let's see what that looks like. A little off center, maybe. Let's try that. Ooh. Okay, yeah. So, let's see. And then you got to go in here if you want it to be side by side. In columns, like this gets tricky because some of the columns, the way you do columns, get to be a little bit different. And you can't do this side by side like that. We're going to make this a little bit smaller, see if we can make that into one. Now I think once you get into like a real, see, this is where I say, design it for somebody with the real phone. Okay, like if they don't have a real phone and they got an old school phone, I mean, that's on them. Because you can't design it for both, as far as I know. Like some, it does constrain it down into formats in most cases, but sometimes those little dinky phones just are too dinky. But this is the best that you can, or that's pretty good what you're doing there, and you'll probably be fine. And then you can always check it on your own phone. Is also a good way. And it's not exactly the way I want it. Because it's not centered. Bigger. I'm just going to make it the same size and hope I want it to championship ice. Maybe I'll just do championship ice. It's not. And why is that way down here? Championship ice. Championship ice. Go to my phone, see if it's like that. And okay, so I don't like this either. I see something else that I want to change. Okay, I don't like that these are all stacked. See, now look, this looks a lot better. It looks a lot more professional. Like, I'm really happy about this. And I started doing it on some of my books, which I really like. Like, this just looks like you got your shit in order, man. Like your professionalism, and it's pretty subtle, but it's significantly more. And this guy Jess has a lot of really unique to him art and everything that he does. You don't want anybody to get away with stealing his crap. Like, it would piss me off, you know what I mean? Like, you want to be able to go after him, and I like that. I do like that. So what we are going to do here is 50, 50. I wish I could reorder those. I'm gonna, there, we'll do it like that, because Cool Hand Ice is the featured brand. There we go. That's what I want. That is what I want. And you could make those like buttons, and maybe I will here in the future. But for now, I think for the sake of this video being extremely long, so that's a header and the footer. Maybe we'll stop with that, because this is gonna get too long. If you want to check in, I'll make another video, a separate video on going back and redoing some of these pages, because all of these pages were done with regular Elementor. And like, see, like things like we'll go over how you make this. I got a P too, so we'll go over how to make these image galleries significantly better, and get rid of some of the template defaults. Show you how to get rid of some of the template defaults, which it just a lot more creativity, a whole new level of creativity for your websites. Thank you guys for joining. Sorry I don't do a good job at looking at the camera, but I am talking to you guys. This has been Elementor versus Elementor Pro and some website things. Peace out.